So this is the Samsung Galaxy Z Flip, and this is the Motorola Razr. They're both clamshell style foldable phones, which means that they start in a really small form factor, and then they fold out to become a pretty much regular sized phone. Now personally, I'm more into foldable phones that start as regular sized phones and then fold more into tablets, kind of like the Samsung Galaxy Fold. I personally think that's going to be the future of foldable devices. But there is a market for people that want phones that fold to be really, really small, so that's why we're doing this comparison. Now, if you're in the market for a foldable phone that starts normal sized and gets small, you pretty much only have these two options. The Motorola Razr is a phone that offers a lot of style, it offers a lot of nostalgia value if you're going for that, whereas the Galaxy Z Flip, well, it pretty much offers everything else. And that kind of leads into this comparison. So I should say up front, if you want a phone that is much more developed, has better specs, and overall is cheaper, then you're gonna have to go with the Samsung Galaxy Z Flip. The Motorola Razr has an older Snapdragon 710 processor, 6 GB of RAM, and 128 GB of storage, whereas the Galaxy Z Flip is going to get you a lot more. You've got a Snapdragon 855 Plus, which is pretty much the best of the best from last generation. You've got 8 GB of RAM and 256 GB of storage, and to top it all off, you've got quite a bigger battery on the Galaxy Z Flip as well. Samsung has a lot better cameras on this phone too, and overall, it's pretty obvious that Motorola made a mid-range phone while Samsung was developing a flagship. And I mean, to top that all off, Samsung has really made a second generation foldable with the Galaxy Z Flip. They've re-engineered the hinge so that less dust is going to get into it. It can now fold to 180 degrees and pretty much stay in any form factor, whereas the Razr has to be in a closed formation or an open formation. There's just a lot more going for the Galaxy Z Flip. And honestly, something that makes this phone feel a lot more developed is the fact that Samsung is using a technology called ultra-thin glass instead of the plastic OLED display that was in the Motorola Razr and the originally Samsung Galaxy Fold. This ultra-thin glass tech makes the phone feel a lot more sturdy. It feels a lot more like a regular smartphone when you're pressing the display. But I should mention that Zach over at Jerry Rigs Everything did make a video where he tore down the Galaxy Z Flip, and it was scratching at much lighter levels than you would expect from a glass technology. He was saying that it was scratching at levels 2 and 3, which are levels that plastic usually scratches at, but I should note that it does feel a lot more sturdy in your hand. So honestly, I would go play with one of these at a Samsung Experience store or at a carrier store before you make that final decision. Here's what kind of kills me though. While I really like the Samsung Galaxy Z Flip, I feel like I like it because it feels like a gadget. It feels like a new technology that we just haven't really seen before, and it's fun to flip it open and closed multiple times a day. Whereas the Motorola Razr really feels like there's heart and soul developed in it. You can really tell that they spent a lot of time making this thing because they took the original design of the original Motorola Razr and they added some unique features that make it more modern. They've got that huge chin that you saw in the original Razr, and they put a fingerprint sensor in it, they put speakers in it, they put a USB-C port in it, and they've put that really, really nice front display on the front of the Razr as well, which actually gives it a few steps up over the Galaxy Z Flip. Where the Galaxy Z Flip does have that small 1.1 inch display that allows you to peek at notifications and look at the time and whatnot, the Moto Razr's display is way bigger and way more useful. You can also peek at notifications and use them both as camera displays, but having a display that much bigger is actually a lot more useful than something like the Galaxy Z Flips. But at the end of the day, when you've got a second generation like the Galaxy Z Flip and you compare it to the Motorola Razr, which is really low end, has a lot of problems like a really loud squeaking when you open and close the device, and overall just feels a little bit less durable, it's super hard to recommend the Razr over this phone, especially when it costs more. The Galaxy Z Flip costs $1,380, while the Motorola Razr costs $1,500. And overall, you're just getting a lot less phone for that price. Also, the Motorola Razr is Verizon exclusive, which is gonna kill that for most of you guys anyway. So that pretty much wraps up this comparison. Now I do think that there are a few super fans that are willing to put up with the lower end specs of the Motorola Razr and all the problems it has, like the squeaky display and the Verizon exclusivity, but that's a much smaller pool of the people that would be buying the Samsung Galaxy Z Flip. Now make sure you stay tuned to the Android Authority YouTube channel and the website because we have a full Samsung Galaxy Z Flip review coming in the coming days. So until next time, I'll catch you in the next video.